Why do some people succeed while others stay stuck, despite having the same ideas, goals, or talents? Napoleon Hill had the answer nearly 100 years ago. Consistency is the master key. Not talent, not luck, just daily, focused effort. If you've been chasing success without results, this might be the one truth you're missing. And once you get it, it changes everything. Asterisk. Most people think success comes from talent, luck, or big moments, but the real secret is consistency. It means doing the small things again and again, even when you don't feel like it. The people who succeed aren't always the best. They just keep going. While others give up, they stay on track. Success doesn't come all at once. It grows slowly. One consistent step at a time. Consistency builds your identity. Every day you wake up, you are given another chance to decide who you are becoming. Not just what you say you want to be, but who you are actually turning into. Step by step, action by action. And the truth is, you're always becoming someone. The question is, are you doing it on purpose? Many people think that change happens in big moments, a sudden breakthrough, a lucky opportunity, or a once-in-a-lifetime decision. But real change doesn't come like a bolt of lightning. It comes in quiet, small actions, repeated day after day. That's what shapes your identity. That's what builds your life. The choices you make every day when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when nothing exciting is happening, those are the moments that count the most. If you choose to take one small step in the right direction, and you keep doing it, you're building something solid. You're laying down bricks. Each one may seem small on its own, but over time, they form the foundation of the person you are becoming. Think about a person who wants to become a good writer. They don't need to write 10 pages in one night. They don't need to wait for some great idea to hit them. All they need to do is write a little every day, even just a paragraph, even just a sentence. If they do that for a year, they've created something real. They've practiced, they've improved, and they've become the kind of person who writes, not someone who just talks about writing. On the other hand, imagine someone who waits for the perfect moment. They want to feel ready before they start. They wait for inspiration for more time, for life to slow down, but the days pass, then the weeks, then the months. And still, they haven't started. Not because they don't have potential, but because they didn't build the habit. They didn't show up for themselves, even in small ways. And so, their identity remains stuck unchanged, unfinished. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. But you do need to be consistent, because consistency is how trust is built with others. But more importantly, with yourself, when you keep showing up, you teach yourself something powerful. You learn that you can depend on your own word. You become stronger, more confident, and more sure of who you are. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. Anyone can make a big change for a day. But what really shapes you is what you do when no one is looking and when it doesn't feel exciting. That's where real strength is built. That's where identity is formed. The person who trains every day, even for just a few minutes, will always become stronger than the one who trains hard once a month. The one who chooses kindness every day will have deeper relationships than the gomer. One who shows love only when it's easy. The one who studies a little each day will be wiser than the one who crams and forgets. So ask yourself not, who do I wish I could be? But who am I becoming by the way I live each day? You don't have to get it all right today, but you can take one small step and then do it again tomorrow. And the next day, because the life you dream of is not built in one moment. It's built in many quiet ones, stacked gently, patiently, and with care. Consistency isn't just a tool. It's your true path to becoming who you are meant to be. 2. Start small. Win big. When people think about success, they often picture something huge. They imagine climbing a tall mountain, running a far distance, or building something grand and impressive. A problem is, when the goal feels too big, it can also feel too far away. That's when people get overwhelmed. They don't know where to begin, so they don't begin at all. But here's something important to remember: every big achievement starts small. No one reaches the top of a mountain by jumping. They reach it by taking one step at a time. It's the same with any goal. The key is not to try to do everything at once. The key is to start small and be steady. Think about someone who wants to become strong. They don't need to lift heavy weights on the first day. In fact, that might even hurt them. What they need is to start simple. Maybe they stretch. Maybe they walk for a few minutes. Maybe they do a few light exercises. It might not look impressive, but it's the beginning of something powerful. And if they do it every day, that strength will grow. Starting small helps in another way too. It builds belief. When you take a small step and you succeed, even in a tiny way, you feel better. You start to trust yourself. You begin to think, I can do this. And that feeling gives you energy to keep going. It's like pushing a snowball. At first, it's small and hard to move. But as you keep pushing, it gets bigger and rolls faster. The problem with trying to do too much is that it leads to quick burnout. A person might try to change everything in one day. Wake up earlier, eat better, study longer, and sleep more. But after a few days, it becomes too much. They get tired. They miss one day and another. And soon, they give up. Now picture someone else who decides to wake up just 10 minutes earlier each day. That doesn't sound like much. But over time, they use those 10 minutes to do something good. Maybe read, plan their day, or stretch. After a few weeks, that small step becomes a habit. Then they add another small step. Bit by bit, their days become stronger, more focused, more peaceful. That's how real success is built, not in a rush, but in small, steady steps that you repeat again and again. And starting small doesn't just help you succeed. It helps you stay humble. It reminds you that you are learning, that you are growing, and that you don't need to have all the answers right away. It teaches you to enjoy the process, not just the result. There's a story of a boy who wanted to play the violin. He was given a big music book and told to practice every day. At first, he tried to play the hardest song. He failed and felt frustrated. But then he started with one note, just one. He practiced that note until it sounded right. Then he added another. A year later, he was playing full songs. Not because he was born with talent, but because he was patient enough to start small. So if you have a dream, if you have a goal, don't wait until everything is perfect. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just start. Do the smallest thing you can do today, and do it well. Then do it again tomorrow. And the next day, because in the end, success doesn't come from one big effort. It comes from many little ones, repeated with heart and patience. Start small, and you'll be amazed at how far you can go. 3. Goals mean nothing without follow-through. It's easy to set goals. People do it all the time. They say, I want to be healthier, or I'm going to save more money, or I'll learn something new this year. But saying it is not the same as doing it. Goals are only the beginning. What really matters is what you do after the goal is set. A goal is like drawing a map. It shows you where you want to go. But if you don't start walking, the map doesn't help you. It doesn't matter how clear the goal is or how badly you want it if you don't take steps toward it. It stays a wish, not a result. Many people get excited when they first think of a goal. They feel hopeful. They feel ready. And for a day or two, they try. But then life gets busy, or the goal feels too far away, and they stop. They forget that. Success doesn't come from starting strong. It comes from staying steady. This is why follow-through matters. It means doing what you said you would do. Even when you don't feel like it. It means keeping your promise to yourself. And that's where many people fall short. Not because they're lazy, not because they're not smart, but because they haven't learned how to keep going after the excitement fades. So how do you follow through? You break the goal into small pieces. You focus on the step in front of you, not the whole path. You don't ask, can I do this for a year? You ask, can I do it today? And when tomorrow comes, you ask the same question again. Think of someone who wants to grow a garden. They buy seeds, they plan where to plant them, and they picture fresh vegetables growing in the sunlight. But if they don't water the seeds each day, if they don't care for the soil, nothing will grow. The goal was good. The plan was smart, but without daily care, the garden stays empty. Now think of someone else who plants the same seeds and checks on them every morning. Some days are easy sunny and pleasant. Some days are hard rainy and cold. But they still show up. They still do the work. A few weeks go by, and tiny green shoots begin to rise. Then leaves. Then fruit. Not because the second person had a better plan, but because they followed through. That's the difference. It's not always about having the best idea. It's about staying with the idea long enough for it to grow. Following through also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. Every time you complete what you said you'd do, you become stronger inside. You start to believe in yourself more. And that belief gives you even more strength to keep going. It's like a fire that grows each time you keep your word. So the next time you set a goal, remember this: the goal is only the start. What matters is what happens after. Will you keep showing up? Will you keep taking steps, even when it's hard? Will you choose to stay the course when it gets quiet, boring, or difficult? Because that's when the real work begins. And that's when success is built. Follow through is not about perfection. It's about effort, daily, honest effort. And with that effort, over time, your goals turn into something real. Start the journey, but more importantly, stay on it. That's where the change happens. That's where you become who you were meant to be. For self-belief grows with action. Many people wait to feel confident before they start something new. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until the fear goes away. But what if that's the wrong way to look at it? What if confidence doesn't come before action, but after? Self-belief is not something you're born with. It's something you build, and the way you build it is by doing. Each time you take a small step, even when you're scared, you gain a little more strength. Each time you try, even if you don't succeed, right away, you prove to yourself that you're capable of growing. That's how real belief in yourself is built, not by thinking about it, but by acting on it. At first, you might feel unsure. That's normal. You might say to yourself, what if I fail? Or what if I'm not good enough? But the truth is, you won't know until you try. And once you try, you'll learn. Maybe it won't go perfectly. Maybe you'll make mistakes, but you'll also see that you survived. You kept going. You handled more than you thought you could. And that changes something inside you. Imagine a girl who's afraid to speak in front of others. She wants to feel confident before she stands up and shares her thoughts. But that confidence doesn't just appear. One day, she decides to speak, even with her hands shaking. The words don't come out perfectly, but she does it. And the next time, it's a little easier. And the time after that, easier still. Over time, she believes in herself. Not because someone told her she could do it, but because she proved it to herself. Belief grows through small wins. It grows through action, not loud action, not big action, not just quiet, steady effort. repeated day after day. Maybe you walk a little farther than yesterday. Maybe you write one page. Maybe you try something new and remind yourself, I don't have to be perfect. I just have to try. Each of these moments adds a brick to your foundation. And over time, that foundation becomes strong. Many people think that belief means never having doubt. But that's not true. Even the strongest people feel unsure sometimes. The difference is, they keep moving forward. They don't let doubt stop them. They act in spite of it. They keep showing up. And because of that, their confidence grows. It's like building a house. You can't build it by standing outside and thinking about it. You have to pick up the first brick, then the next. You won't see results right away. But keep at it, and one day, you'll look around and see a solid structure that came from your hands. That's what self-belief is, It's a house you build with your own actions. So if you don't feel confident right now, that's okay, just take the next step. Don't wait until you feel strong to begin. Begin and strength will follow. Believe in your effort, even when the results are not clear yet. Each time you try, each time you show up, each time you say, I'll give it my best, you are becoming someone who believes. You are proving to yourself that you are capable, and that quiet belief is worth more than any loud praise. You don't need to have it all together to take action. But you do need to take action to believe in yourself. Start today. Take one small step forward and keep going. You'll be surprised how strong you become. 5. Passion without discipline. Fail's passion feels exciting. It fills you with energy. It makes your heart beat faster and your mind race with ideas. Passion is that strong feeling inside you when you discover something you love to do. It could be singing, painting, teaching, building, helping others, anything. That lights up your spirit. Passion gives you the dream. But if you don't add discipline, that dream won't last. Discipline is what keeps you going after the excitement fades. Because no matter how much you love something, there will be hard days. There will be days when you're tired, when things don't go your way, or when you just don't feel like trying. That's when discipline becomes more important than passion. Discipline says, do it anyway. It helps you keep the promise you made to yourself. Even when the feeling is gone, people often believe that if they lose passion, it means they're not on the right path. But that's not always true. Sometimes the passion is still there. It's just quiet. And the only way to hear it again is to keep going, to push through the hard days, to do the work, even when it feels slow. That's what discipline is. It's showing up no matter how you feel. Think of a man who loves music. At first, he plays his instrument with joy. Every note makes him smile. But one day, he gets frustrated. He can't play a certain song. He wants to give up. If he only had passion, he might stop there. But he also has discipline. So he keeps practicing. He plays the same part again and again until he gets it right. Weeks later, he plays the song with ease, and the passion returns stronger than ever. Now imagine someone else who starts with just as much passion, but no discipline. They practice only when they feel like it. They stop when it gets hard. A few months later, they're no closer to their goal. Their passion fades, not because they didn't care, but because they didn't stay with it. That's why discipline matters so much. It protects your passion. It gives it a path. It turns a dream into something real. Passion might light the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Discipline also teaches you respect for yourself and for your craft. It shows you that anything worth having takes time, effort, and patience. It helps you grow not just in skill, but in strength of character. You learn how to be patient, how to be focused, and how to finish what you started. Some days, you'll feel excited and ready. Other days, you won't. But if you stay steady, if you keep putting in the work, you'll begin to build something that lasts. You'll become the kind of person who follows through, who doesn't quit, who keeps growing no matter what. And here's the beautiful part: when you stay consistent with discipline, passion often comes back. It may not come in loud cheers or big moments. It may come quietly when you realize how far you've come, when you see your progress, when someone else is inspired by your work, when you feel proud not just of what you've done, but of the person you've become. So yes, passion is a gift. It's the spark. But if you want that spark to grow into a strong, steady flame, you need discipline. You need to show up again and again, even when it's hard, even when no one else sees it. Keep the fire alive. Let discipline carry you when passion feels low. That's how dreams become real. That's how you succeed. 6. Resilience comes from repetition. Life is full of ups and downs. Some days are smooth, and everything seems to go right. Other days are hard, and nothing seems to work. No matter who you are, there will be times when you fall, when things don't go the way you hope. That's when resilience matters most. Resilience is the strength to keep going, even when things get tough. But resilience doesn't just appear when you need it. It's not something you can turn on like a light. It's something you build slowly, quietly, and over time. And the way you build it is through repetition, by doing hard things again and again, by getting back up each time you fall. Each time you face a challenge and choose to keep going, you grow stronger. Each time you fail and try again, you become more prepared. This is how resilience is built, not by avoiding hard times, but by going through them with steady effort. Think about a tree in a storm. A strong tree bends with the wind. It doesn't break because its roots are deep. It has faced many storms before and has learned how to stand firm. That strength didn't come overnight. It came from facing the wind time and time again. Now think of a young boy learning to ride a bicycle. The first few times he falls. He scrapes his knee. He feels scared, but he tries again and again. Each time he learns something new: how to balance, how to steer, how to trust himself. After enough practice, he doesn't fall anymore. He rides with confidence. That confidence came from his resilience, and his resilience came from repetition. This is true in all parts of life. If you're learning a new skill, the first tries will be difficult. If you're chasing a big goal, there will be setbacks. If you're facing loss, heartache, or failure, you'll feel pain. But if you keep showing up, if you keep trying, day after day, you become someone who doesn't quit. Resilience also teaches you patience. You begin to understand that not every problem has a quick fix. Some things take time. Some lessons take longer to learn. But if you're willing to keep walking through the hard parts, you'll come out stronger on the other side. People often admire those who stay calm during hard times. They think that person is so strong, but what they don't see is the years of quiet practice behind that strength. They don't see the moments when that person was scared, tired, or ready to give up, but chose not to. That choice, repeated over and over, is what creates real resilience. It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's not about being perfect. It's about continuing, even when things are messy, even when it hurts, even when you want to quit. So when life knocks you down, remember this: falling is part of the process. Everyone falls. What matters is that you get back up. And the more often you do, the easier it becomes. You start to trust yourself. You start to believe, I've been here before, and I know how to keep going. You don't need to be the strongest, the fastest, or the smartest. You just need to be the one who keeps getting back up. Build your resilience one day at a time. Let each challenge teach you. Let each setback shape you. Keep repeating the effort. And before you know it, you'll find strength you never knew you had. 7. The compound power of time is one of the greatest gifts we are given. Each day brings 24 new hours. What you choose to do with those hours adds up. Sometimes it doesn't feel like much. A few minutes here, a little effort there. But over weeks, months, and years, those small choices turn into something big. This is called the power of compounding. It's like planting a seed. At first, you don't see much. You water it, care for it, and still, it looks like nothing is happening. But under the surface, something is growing day by day. The roots grow deeper. And then one day, a tiny sprout appears. Later, that sprout becomes a plant and a tree. But none of that would happen if you didn't take care of it each day, even when there was no sign of progress. Many people give up too soon. They want fast results. They want to see changes right away. But most good things take time. A person doesn't learn to play an instrument in 1 week. They practice for months and years. A person doesn't become strong from one workout. They exercise often, even when they don't feel like it. Growth comes from small efforts repeated over. Time. The power of time is not in what you do once. It's in what you do every day. If you read 1 page each night, you may not feel smarter the next day. But after 1 year, you've finished many books. If you save a little money each week, you may not feel richer right away. But over time, your savings grow. Think about a young girl learning to draw at first. Her pictures are simple. Maybe she gets frustrated, but she keeps practicing every day. 1 year later, her drawings look completely different. She's not just better. She's proud of what she can do. And it all started with a few quiet minutes of practice each day. The same idea works in every part of life. In learning, in health, in relationships, and in personal growth. Time rewards those who are patient and consistent. Not the ones who rush, not the ones who quit, but the ones who keep going. Even when you don't feel like it's working, trust that something is happening. Just because you can't see the change, it doesn't mean it isn't growing. Each time you show up, you are adding to something bigger. Each small step moves you forward. But here's something important to remember: time can also work against you. If you waste your days, if you ignore your goals, if you delay your dreams, that also adds up. Not doing something today might not seem like a big deal, but if you keep putting it off, a year can pass, and you're no closer to where you want to be. The good news is, you don't need to do big things to use time well. You just need to do small things often. That's how you use the power of time. That's how you build something meaningful. So don't rush. Don't try to do everything at once. Instead, ask yourself, what small thing can I do today that will help me tomorrow? Then do it, and do it again the next day. Keep showing up. In the beginning, it will feel slow. But if you stay steady, time will reward you. One day, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. And it all happened one small step at a time. 8. Mastery is boring, and that's okay. When people dream of becoming great at something, they often imagine excitement. They think of moments where everything feels new, where progress is fast, and where each step feels like a big achievement. But the truth is, the path to mastery is not always exciting. In fact, most of the time, it feels boring. And that's okay. Getting really good at something means doing it over and over again. It means repeating the same small task many times. It means practicing even when it's no longer fun. That's what most people don't see. Behind every person who is great at what they do, there are hours of quiet work, done without applause, without praise, and often without much joy. Just steady effort, day after day. Think about someone who wants to become a great baker. At first, they're excited. They try new recipes. They enjoy the smell of fresh bread, and they're proud of their results. But then comes the real work, measuring ingredients again and again, kneading dough until their hands hurt, making the same loaf 10, 20, or even 50 times just to get it right. After a while, it becomes routine. The joy doesn't go away, but it isn't loud anymore. It becomes a quiet sense of purpose. They are not just baking. They are mastering their craft. Most people stop when things get boring. They start with energy. But when the newness wears off, they move on to something else. They think something is wrong because it no longer feels exciting. But that's not a sign to quit. That's a sign that real learning is happening. Growth happens during the boring parts. Those are the moments that test your patience, your discipline, and your desire to truly get better. Boredom is not the enemy. It is part of the process. It means you are doing the deep work. That it means you are focusing on the details that others ignore. And over time, those details make all the difference. Imagine a boy learning to play the violin. At first, he enjoys it. But soon, his teacher tells him to play the same note again and again. He doesn't understand why. It feels pointless. But after weeks of practice, his fingers move more smoothly. The sound is clearer. One day, he plays a full song, and it sounds beautiful. He realizes that all those boring days helped him reach this moment. Mastery doesn't come from doing many things once. It comes from doing one thing many times. It comes from staying with something long after the excitement fades. It comes from being willing to be bored if that's what it takes to improve. It's easy to start. It's hard to keep going. But the people who keep going, even when it's no longer fun, are the ones who become truly great. So don't run away from boredom. Don't think that just because something feels slow or repetitive, it's not working. It is. The best results often grow in silence. The loud moments of success are built on quiet hours of effort. If you want to master something, whether it's a skill, a habit, or a goal, be ready for the boring parts. Welcome them. Keep showing up. Keep repeating the basics. Trust the process. Because in the end, what feels boring today becomes greatness tomorrow. And that greatness is not built in moments of excitement, but in the calm, steady work you choose to do when no one is watching. 9. Motivation is fleeting habits. Motivation is a good feeling. It gives you energy. It makes you want to start something new. When you feel motivated, everything seems easier. You think, I can do this, and you believe it. But here's the problem. Motivation doesn't stay. One day you have it. The next day you don't. It comes and goes like the wind. And if you only act when you feel motivated, you won't get far. That's why you need something stronger than motivation. You need habits. Habits are the things you do every day, whether you feel like it or not. They are built by repeating actions until they become a natural part of your life. Habits don't depend on how you feel. They depend on what you've trained yourself to do. Imagine someone who wants to wake up early. On the first day, they feel excited. They get out of bed, stretch, and feel proud. On the second day, they feel tired. The bed is warm. The room is dark. The motivation is gone. If they rely only on that good feeling, they will go back to sleep. But if they have built a habit, they've trained themselves to get up at the same time every day, they will rise. Even without the excitement, habits are powerful because they don't ask for permission. They don't wait for the right mood. They carry you forward when your feelings try to hold you back. This is how people reach their goals, not by staying motivated, but by building strong habits and sticking to them. Think about brushing your teeth. You probably don't feel excited about it. You don't say, "Today, I really want to brush my teeth." You just do it every morning, every night. It's a habit. And because you do it every day, your teeth stay healthy. The same idea works for anything important: exercise, reading, saving, money, being kind. When you make it a habit, It becomes part of you. Building a habit takes time. At first, it's hard. You have to remind yourself. You have to push through the days when you don't feel like it. But if you keep going, it becomes easier. One day, you won't have to think about it. You'll just do it. That's when real change begins. Let's say someone wants to become a better runner. On the first few days, they are excited. They run with energy. But then it rains, or they feel sore, or they get busy. If they wait for motivation, they will skip the run. But if they have made it a habit, even a short run, even just putting on their shoes and stepping outside, they will stay on track. And with time, they'll get stronger, faster, and more confident. This is why habits are better than motivation. Motivation helps you start. Habits help you finish. You don't need to feel ready every day. You just need to keep your routine. If you stay with it, you'll look back and see how far you've come. And you'll be glad you didn't wait for the perfect mood. So the next time you feel lazy, tired, or distracted, remember this. You don't need to feel good to do good. You just need to take the next step. Let your habits lead the way. Motivation is a spark. It lights the fire. But habits are the wood that keeps it burning. If you want to succeed, don't wait for the right feeling. Build the right habit. Then repeat it again and again. That's how progress is made, through quiet, steady steps that become your way of life. 10. Adaptability is a consistent skill. Life doesn't always go the way we plan. Sometimes things change quickly. What worked yesterday may not work today. People change, situations shift, and challenges appear without warning. In times like these, one of the most important skills you can have is adaptability. The ability to adjust, to stay calm, and to move forward even when the road looks different than before. But being adaptable doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean you must always have the right answer. It means you're willing to learn. You're open to trying a new way. You don't give up just because things didn't go as expected. You look at what's in front of you, and you make the best of it. Adaptability is not something you use only once in a while. It's a skill you must grow over time, and the way to grow it is by practicing small changes often. When you learn to handle small changes calmly, you become stronger when big changes come. It's like training your mind and heart to stay flexible. More you do it, the better you become. Think of a river. When it hits a rock, it doesn't stop. It doesn't try to break the rock. It flows around it. Over time, it even shapes the rock. That's the power of being adaptable. You don't fight every problem. You find a way through it or around it. You stay steady even if the path is different than you planned. Imagine a teacher who has planned a lesson for her students. But when she enters the classroom, she finds out the students are upset because of something that happened earlier. If she is stuck in her plan, she might ignore their feelings and try to teach anyway. But if she is adaptable, she changes her approach. Maybe she starts with a short talk or a calming activity. She listens first, then teaches. Because of her flexibility, her students learn better and trust her more. Or think about someone who trains. For a race, they run every morning on the same path. But one day, the path is closed. If they're not adaptable, they may feel angry and skip the run. But if they are flexible, they take a different route. It might not be the one they like most, but they keep going. That's the strength of adaptability. It helps you stay on your path, even when the path twists. Being adaptable doesn't mean you have no goals or no plan. It means you can adjust your steps while keeping your eyes on the goal. You still move forward, even if the road looks different than you imagined. And just like any other skill, adaptability grows with practice. Try something new every week. Learn from people who think differently than you. Let yourself make mistakes and learn from them. Don't be afraid to ask, "What can I do now?" Instead of saying, Why is this happening to me? People who are adaptable don't get stuck for long. They may fall, but they rise quickly. They may face the unknown, but they stay curious and brave. They are not frozen by fear. They are moved by growth. So when life changes as it often do a stake, a deep breath. Be like the river. Keep moving. Keep learning. Keep flowing forward. Adaptability is not just about surviving change. It's about using change to become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for whatever comes next. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. It's not a one-time lesson. It's a way of living one day at a time. 11. Purpose gives consistency direction. Every person wants their life to matter. Deep inside, we all want to feel like what we're doing has meaning. That feeling of meaning comes from purpose. Purpose is the reason behind your actions. It's the why that gives your daily work a deeper meaning. Without purpose, even the best plans feel empty. With purpose, even small tasks feel important. Purpose gives consistency a direction. It's like a compass. You can walk every day. But if you don't know where you're going, you might end up lost. When you know your purpose, your steps are not just movement. They become progress. You're no longer just doing things to stay busy. You're doing them to build something that matters. When life gets hard, purpose reminds you why you started. It helps you keep going when you feel tired, when success feels far away, or when the road becomes difficult. Many people quit because they forget why they began. But those who are clear on their purpose can walk through storms and keep moving forward. Purpose also helps you make better choices. When you know what truly matters to you, you stop wasting time on things that don't. You don't chase every distraction. You don't say yes to every request. You begin to say no to what doesn't fit your path, and yes to what brings you closer to the person you want to become. Imagine a man who wakes up early every morning to work on a small farm. At first, it seems like hard, simple work: planting, watering, weeding. But he keeps doing it day after day because he has a purpose. Maybe he wants to feed his family with healthy food. Maybe he wants to provide for his village. That purpose gives him strength. The work doesn't feel pointless. It feels powerful. And even on the days when the sun is hot or the rain is heavy, he keeps going. Not because the task is easy, but because the purpose is strong. Now think of someone else doing the same work, but with no purpose behind it. Maybe they do it just because they were told to. Maybe they're only waiting for the day to end. The work feels heavier for them. They move slower. They complain more. Without purpose, it's hard to stay consistent. The same task can feel completely different, depending on the reason behind it. But here's something important: purpose isn't always loud. Sometimes it starts small. It grows quietly, deep inside, and you don't need to have everything figured out right away. You just need to start asking, what matters most to me? Or how can I make a difference with what I have? Little by little, your answers will become clearer. Purpose doesn't have to be something big like changing the world. It can be something simple, like being a kind parent, a helpful friend, or a person who spreads peace. What matters is that it feels true to you. Makes your actions feel valuable, even when no one is watching. When you connect your purpose to your daily life, everything changes. Waking up becomes easier. Working hard feels lighter. Even your struggles feel like they're leading somewhere. Purpose turns effort into joy and discipline into devotion. So find your purpose and keep it close. Let it guide your choices. Let it give meaning to your routine. Let it help you stay steady when the path is long. Because when your heart knows why you're walking, your feet will keep moving one step at a time, day after day, with strength, with peace, and with joy. 12. Discipline brings freedom. First, the word discipline might sound hard. It might make you think of rules, limits, or doing things you don't feel like doing. But discipline is not something that takes your freedom away. In truth, it's the very thing that gives you real freedom. Freedom doesn't mean doing whatever you want, whenever you want. That kind of living often leads to problems. If a person eats whatever they want every day, they may become sick. If they spend all their money without thinking, they may end up in debt. If they say yes to every distraction, they may never finish what matters. Real freedom comes from having control, not from the outside, but from within. Discipline helps you gain that control. It teaches you how to choose what is best, even when it's not what feels easiest in the moment. And when you can guide your choices with wisdom, you become free from guilt, stress, and regret. Discipline is like planting a tree. You water it every day, even if you don't see much change at first. You care for it, protect it, and give it time. One day, that small tree gives you shade. It bears fruit. You enjoy what it gives because you stayed committed from the beginning. That's how discipline works. It gives you rewards over time, not right away. Imagine a young man who wants to become a great musician. He decides to practice every morning, even when he feels tired or lazy. At first, the progress is slow. He plays the same song over and over, but he stays with it. Weeks turn into months, and his skill grows. Now, years later, he plays beautifully. He performs with joy. People admire his talent, but that talent was built through discipline. And because he worked when others rested, now he enjoys a freedom they do not. He can play with confidence, travel, and live his dream. Discipline gave him that life. Now think of someone else who only practices when they feel like it. They skip days. They give up when it gets boring or hard. A year passes, and they're still in the same place. They may even feel sad or stuck. Not because they don't have talent, but because they didn't stay disciplined. Discipline helps in every part of life. It helps you wake up early, save money, eat healthy food, finish what you start, and take care of your responsibilities. When you build these good habits, your life becomes easier. You don't have to keep fixing the same problems. You don't keep falling behind. You start living with more peace, more strength, and more freedom. Some people think discipline takes the fun out of life, but that's not true. It helps you enjoy life more or not less. When you are disciplined, you can rest without worry. You can celebrate your success, knowing you earned it. You can trust yourself because you know you won't break your own promises. Discipline doesn't have to be harsh. It can be gentle but firm. It can be loving. It's the voice that says, I care about my future, so I will do what is right today. It's the quiet strength that helps you stay the course when others quit. So if you want real freedom from regret, from fear, from weakness, start with discipline. Begin with one small choice, then another. Build the habit of showing up. Even when it's hard over time, you will feel stronger. You will go farther, and you will discover a kind of freedom that is deep, lasting, and full of peace. Discipline is not your enemy. It is your guide. It is the quiet friend that walks beside you, helping you become who you were always meant to be. 13. Progress over perfection. Many people never begin their journey because they are waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect feeling. They think, I'll start when everything is just right. But the truth is, nothing is ever completely perfect. Waiting for perfection often means waiting forever. Progress is better than perfection. Progress means taking one step forward, even if it's small. It means trying, learning, and growing, even if you make mistakes along the way. Perfection is about doing something without any flaws, but progress is about becoming better little by little. One leads to action, the other often leads to delay. If you want to improve your life, don't wait until you feel completely ready. Don't wait until your plan is perfect. Start where you are, with what you have. Do what you can, and most importantly, keep going. You will make mistakes, and that's okay. Mistakes are part of learning. They teach you what works and what doesn't. Shape you, not break you. Imagine a girl who wants to paint. She waits to buy the best brushes. She waits until she has the perfect idea. She waits for the right moment. Weeks pass, then months, and still no painting. Now imagine another girl who picks up whatever brush. She has and begins. Her first painting is not perfect, but it is something. The next one is better. The third is even better. Over time, she becomes skilled. Why? Because she chose progress over perfection. Perfection is a heavyweight. It tells you that anything less than perfect is a failure, but that's not true. Every great artist, teacher, farmer, builder, or leader started as a beginner. They didn't get everything right at first. They didn't wait to become perfect before they acted. They made progress. Step by step. Progress also builds confidence. When you move forward, even a little, you feel proud. You say to yourself, I can do this. That feeling gives you energy to take the next step. On the other hand, if you wait for perfection, you feel stuck. You feel like nothing is ever good enough. And that feeling steals your courage. People who make progress are not always the smartest or the fastest. They are the ones who keep going. They don't let fear of failure stop them. They don't expect things to be easy. They accept that progress is slow at times, and they move forward anyway. Think about a man learning to build furniture. His first table wobbles. The paint is uneven, but he keeps trying. Each table gets better. One day, people start asking to buy his work. He smiles, remembering how rough that first table was. But without that first step, none of the rest would have happened. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do your best. But don't let the idea of being perfect stop you from doing anything at all. Start now. Learn as you go. You can fix your path while you're walking it. Life is full of chances to grow. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you'll miss them. But if you choose progress, you will build a life full of effort, courage, and success. You'll look back and see how far you've come in. No, because everything went perfectly, but because you kept moving forward. Progress is the path to change. One step, one try, one day at a time. So take the step today. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. Let go of perfect. Reach for progress. That's where true growth begins. 14. Values keep you grounded in life. You will face many choices. Some will be big, others small. There will be times when you are unsure what to do. In those moments, your values help guide you. Values are the deep beliefs you hold inside. They tell you what is right and wrong. They help you decide what kind of person you want to be. When the world feels confusing, your values keep you steady. Everyone has values, whether they know it or not. Some people value honesty, others value kindness, hard work, or respect. These values are like roots under a tree. You cannot always see them, but they hold everything in place. Without strong roots, a tree will fall in a storm. But with strong roots, it will stand to leave them when the wind blows hard. Values do the same. For people. They help you stand strong in the middle of life's challenges. When you live by your values, you feel peace inside. Even if things don't go your way, you can still feel proud of your actions. You know you did what was right for you, but when you ignore your values, you feel lost. You may succeed in some way, but you won't feel happy. That's because you're not being true to yourself. Think of a man who believes in fairness. He runs a small shop. One day, someone offers him a chance to make quick money by doing something dishonest. He could say yes, and no one would know. But he says no, even though it means less money. Why? because fairness matters more to him than fast success. He goes home with less money, but with a calm heart. That's the power of living by values. Now, think of someone else who says yes to the same deal. They get more money, but they feel uneasy. They worry about being caught. They don't sleep well. They may have gained something, but they lost a part of themselves. When you go against your values, it always costs something. Even if no one sees it, your values can also help you choose your path. When you're not sure what goal to chase or what job to take, ask yourself what matters most to me. The answer will guide you. For example, if you value helping others, you may choose a path where you can care for people. If you value creativity, you may choose a path where you can build or make things. Living by values also brings stronger relationships. People trust those who stand by what they believe. They feel safe with someone who is honest, kind, or loyal. These qualities build friendships, families, and communities that last. But values only help you if you use them every day. It's easy to say, I believe in kindness, but it means more when you show kindness during a hard moment. It's easy to say, I believe in honesty, but it takes strength to speak the truth when it's difficult. Real values are lived, not just spoken. You don't need to be perfect. No one follows their values all the time. But if you keep trying, if you remind yourself of what you believe, you will grow stronger. You will build a life that feels true to who you are. So take time to know your values. Write them down. Think about them often. Let them guide your choices. Let them shape your days. Because when everything around you changes, your values will remain. They will keep you grounded, that they will help you walk with courage, with peace, and with purpose. And in the end, they will lead you toward a life you can be proud of. 15. Focus is the multiplier. Focus is one of the most powerful tools a person can have. It helps you use your time and energy in the best way. Without focus, you can work all day and still feel like you got nothing done. But with focus, even a short amount of time can bring great results. When your mind is scattered, it's like trying to dig many small holes instead of one deep one. You keep starting things but never finish. You jump from one idea to the next, but never make real progress. You feel busy, but you are not building anything strong. Focus is what allows you to go deep instead of wide. It helps you stay on one path long enough to see real change. Focus is not just about doing one thing at a time. It's about choosing the right thing to work on. It's about asking yourself, what matters most right now, and giving your full attention to that. Many people waste energy on things that don't really matter. But when you learn to focus, you give your energy to the things that move your life forward. Imagine a man trying to cut down a tree. He has an axe and he swings it at 10 different trees, hitting each one only a few times. After hours, none of the trees fall. Now imagine another man who swings at the same tree again and again. His hits are steady, all in the same place. After some time, that tree falls. Why? Because of focus. Because he stayed with one task and gave it his full effort. Focus also makes your effort stronger. When your mind is clear and your goal is simple, you work with more power. Your steps are more direct. You feel less stress because you are not trying to do everything at once. You know where you are going, and every action brings you closer. But focus takes practice. It is not always easy to stay with one thing. Sometimes your mind will wander, but you may feel pulled in many directions. That's okay. The key is to notice it and gently return your attention to what matters. Each time you do that, you are building your focus like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. To build focus, start small. Give your full attention to one task, even for just 10 minutes. Put your heart into it. Then take a short rest and do it again. Over time, Those short moments of focus will grow into longer ones. You will get more done with less effort. Focus also brings peace. When you are truly focused, the noise of the world fades. You feel calm, steady, and strong. You are not rushing, Dot. You are not pulled in different directions. You are fully present. And in that presence, great things can happen. Think of a child building a sand castle. They are not thinking about what they will do later. They are not worried about what others are doing. They are fully in the moment, shaping, building, and smiling. That is the power of focus. It brings joy. It brings progress. It brings results. So if you want to grow, if you want to do something that matters, learn to focus. Protect your attention like it's something precious, because it is. Give your best effort to one thing at a time. Stay with it. Don't rush. Don't quit. And over time, you'll see that focus doesn't just add to your life. It multiplies what you can achieve. Turns small actions into big results. And it helps you move forward with strength, clarity, and purpose. 16. Growth lives in the stretch. Most people want to grow. They want to get better, stronger, and wiser. They want to reach new goals and become more than they are today. But growth doesn't happen by staying in the same place. It doesn't come from always feeling comfortable. Growth lives in the stretch, in those moments when you do something new, something hard, something that pushes you just a little past where you've been before. Stretching yourself means doing what feels just outside your reach. It doesn't mean pushing so far that you break. It means gently challenging yourself to try more, learn more, and become more. Like a muscle that gets stronger through stretching, your heart and mind grow through effort and challenge. Think about someone learning to swim. At first, they stay near the edge where their feet can touch the ground. That's their comfort zone. But one day, they move a little farther out. They kick harder. They stretch their arms and try to float on their own. They are nervous, but they try. That stretch is where the learning happens. It's not easy, but that small step builds courage. With time and practice, they swim across the pool. That same idea works in every part of life. Whether it's learning a new skill, speaking in front of others, having a difficult conversation, or setting a bigger goal, growth always requires a stretch. If you only do what you already know, you stay the same. If you stretch, you grow, but stretching can feel uncomfortable. You may feel fear, doubt, or failure. That's normal. The key is not to run from the discomfort, but to walk through it slowly and wisely. Each time you stretch and succeed, you build confidence. Each time you stretch and fall, you build resilience. Either way, you grow. There's a story about a young woman who dreamed of becoming a teacher. She was shy and afraid to speak in front of others. Her first class was scary. Her voice was quiet. Her hands shook, but she stretched herself. She kept showing up. Every week, she stood a little taller. Her voice grew stronger. Her fear slowly turned into strength. Years later, she became a leader at her school. Her growth came because she was brave enough to stretch, even when it was hard. Sometimes the stretch is very small, waking up 10 minutes earlier, saying no when you usually say yes, trying something you've never done before. These small acts may not seem like much, but they open the door to change. They show you that you can do more than you thought, and once you stretch, you don't go back to who you were. You become someone new, someone more capable, more sure of themselves, more open to what life has to offer. Stretching also helps you find out what matters to you. When you try new things, you learn more about your likes, your dislikes, your strengths, and your dreams. You discover new parts of yourself, and with each stretch, your world becomes bigger. So don't be afraid of the stretch. Welcome it. Let it teach you. Let it grow you. You don't have to leap far. Just take one small step beyond your comfort. One challenge, one change, one stretch at a time. Over the months and years, those little stretches will turn into big growth. You'll look back and see that the person you are today came from those moments when you chose to drive in when it was hard. That's where real growth lives, not in staying the same, but in stretching just enough to become something more. Keep stretching, keep growing. The best version of you is waiting on the other side. 17. Mindset is your operating system. The way you think shapes your life. Your mindset is like the ground beneath your feet. If the ground is solid, you can stand tall. If it's shaky, even small steps feel uncertain. Your mindset is your inner guide. It tells you how to see the world, how to face problems, and how to deal with failure or success. A strong mindset helps you grow, while a weak mindset holds you back. Some people believe they are stuck the way they are. They say things like, "I'm just not good at that," or "I'll never be able to do it." This is called a fixed mindset. It keeps people from trying. It makes them fear mistakes. And because of that, they stop learning and growing. But others believe they can learn, improve, and change. They say, "I don't know how yet, but I can learn," or "I didn't do well this time, but I'll do better next time." This is called a growth mindset. It gives people the strength to keep going. It helps them face challenges with courage and patience. Your thoughts are powerful. What you tell yourself each day matters. If you feed your mind with doubt and fear, you will act with hesitation. But if you fill your mind with hope, belief, and determination, you will act with strength. You become what you think about over and over again. Imagine a boy who wants to learn how to play the guitar. At first, it feels hard. His fingers hurt, and the sound is not right. If he has a fixed mindset, he might say, "I'm just not good at this," and stop trying. But if he has a growth mindset, he will say, "It's hard now, but I will improve." That belief keeps him practicing. Day by day, he gets better. In time, he plays songs with ease, and not because he was born talented, but because he believed he could. Grow. Having the right mindset doesn't mean life will be easy. It means you will be ready for the hard parts. When something goes wrong, you won't give up. You'll look for a lesson. You'll ask, "What can I learn from this?" That question alone can change your whole path. Mistakes become teachers. Failure becomes part of progress. You can also build a better mindset by choosing what you focus on. If you focus only on problems, you feel weak. But if you look for solutions, you feel stronger. If you focus only on what you can't do, you feel stuck. But if you focus on what you can do, even a little, you feel hope. Another way to build a better mindset is by being kind to yourself. Don't speak to yourself with harsh words. Don't call yourself names when you fail. Instead, treat yourself like you would treat a close friend, with honesty, care, and support. Say, "This was a hard day, but I'm still trying." Or, "I didn't do my best today, but I will try again tomorrow." These words matter more than you think. Your mindset is like the sun to a plant. With the right light, the plant grows tall and strong. Without it, the plant wilts. You are the same. When you feed your mind with belief, effort, and learning, you grow into someone stronger, wiser, and more able. So choose your thoughts with care. Train your mind every day. Speak words of growth. Choose courage over fear. Be patient with yourself. And remember, your mindset is not just something you're born with. It's something you can build. A strong mind leads to a strong life, and every thought you think is a step on that path. Choose wisely and keep walking. Your future depends on it. 18. Energy requires management. Everyone has the same number of hours in a day, but not everyone gets the same amount of work done. Some people feel tired all the time, Even if they have nothing big to do, others feel alive and strong. Even when they have many tasks, what makes the difference? It's not just time, it's energy. And the way you manage your energy decides how much you can do and how well you can do it. Energy is like fuel in a lamp. If the lamp runs out of oil, the flame dies. It does not matter how beautiful the lamp is or where it stands, it cannot shine without fuel. In the same way, your body and mind need energy to do good work. Make good choices and stay steady through the day. If your energy is low, your focus fades, your mood drops, and your work suffers. You don't get more energy by simply wishing for it. You get it by caring for your body, your mind, and your spirit. The basics matter: sleep, food, movement, rest, and peace of mind. When these are in balance, your energy rises. When they are ignored, your energy falls. Sleep is the first pillar. A well-rested person can think more clearly, work more calmly, and stay stronger when faced with challenges. Without enough rest, even the smallest tasks can feel too heavy. A farmer cannot work hard if he has not slept. A student cannot learn well if she is too tired to listen. Sleep is not a waste of time. It is where your body repairs and your mind resets. Next is food. Food is more than taste. It is fuel. What you eat decides how your body runs. Eating fresh and simple meals gives your body strength. Eating too much of the wrong things makes your body feel slow and heavy. A body filled with good food can carry you through the day. A body filled with poor food struggles just to keep up. Movement also matters. You don't have to run fast or lift heavy things. Just move, walk, stretch, breathe deeply. The body is made to move. When it sits still too long, the energy becomes stuck. But when you move, the energy flows again. Your muscles feel better. Your mind becomes clearer. Even a short walk can refresh a tired spirit. But energy is not only about the body. It is also about your thoughts. Worry, anger, and stress can drain your energy faster than any hard task. That's why peace of mind is so important. Spend time in silence. Go outside. Sit near trees. Talk to someone you trust. Write your thoughts in a notebook. Do things that calm your heart. A quiet mind gives you more strength than a loud, busy one. Also, learn to say no. You cannot do everything. You should not try to please everyone. Choose the things that truly matter. Let go of things that steal your energy without giving anything back. Protect your energy the way you would protect something valuable, because it is. There's a story about two woodcutters. One works without rest all day. He chops fast, but he gets tired quickly. The other stops every hour to sharpen his axe and take a short break. At the end of the day, the second man cuts more wood. Why? Because he managed his energy. He worked smart, not just hard. Energy is your power. Got it. Grow it. Use it with care. When you feel strong inside, everything outside becomes easier to face. You don't need more time. You need better energy. And that begins with how you treat your body, your mind, and your heart. Of a very single day. 19. Environment shapes behavior. The place you spend your time in has more power over you than you may think. The people around you, the noise or peace you live with, and the things you see and hear each day all shape your behavior. Even when you don't notice it, your environment is quietly teaching you how to think, act, and feel. If your environment is full of chaos, it becomes harder to stay calm. If it is filled with distraction, it becomes harder to focus. If it is filled with negativity, it becomes harder to stay hopeful. But when your surroundings support your goals, when your space is peaceful, your tools are ready, and your company is encouraged, it becomes easier to grow into the person you want to be. You may have great goals and strong discipline, but if your environment is pulling you in the wrong direction, you will struggle more than you need to. It's like trying to walk through thick mud with heavy boots. You can still move, but it's slow and tiring. Now imagine walking on a clean path with light shoes. That's the power of a good environment. It makes every step smoother. Your environment includes the space around you. Is it clean or cluttered? Bright or dark? Open or crowded? Even a small room can feel peaceful if it's kept with care. Even a busy area can feel calming. If you create small spaces for quiet work or rest, take time to make your space support you. Put things in place that remind you of your values and your goals. Keep away the things that pull your attention in the wrong direction. Your environment also includes the people around you. Are they lifting you up or holding you back? Are they speaking life or speaking doubt? You become like the people you spend the most time with. Their habits, their thoughts, and their attitudes slowly become yours. If you want to grow, spend more time with people who inspire you to be better. Look for those who live with kindness, strength, and purpose. If you cannot find them nearby, then spend more time alone, building those qualities in yourself. There's a story about a seed that was planted in poor soil. It was watered and cared for, but it couldn't grow well because the ground didn't support it. The same seed placed in rich soil with sunlight, water, and space became a strong plant. The seed didn't change, but the environment did. That made all the difference. The same is true for you. Your dreams, your talents, and your heart are the seed. Your environment is the soil. You don't have to be perfect to grow. You just need to place yourself where growth is possible. This also means you can build a better environment step by step. Start with one small change. Maybe you clean your work area. Maybe you wake up earlier to find quiet. Maybe you spend less time with people who pull you down. Each small change adds up. Over time, these changes shape your habits, and your habits shape your future. If you want to change your life, start by changing the world just around you. Let your space reflect who you want to become. Let your surroundings support your path, not fight against it. When your environment is strong, your energy rises. Your focus sharpens. Your heart feels lighter. And every step toward your goal becomes more possible. Shape your environment with care. Let it become the quiet helper that walks beside you, making every day just a little easier, a little stronger, and a little more yours. 20. Reflection fuels direction. In the rush of daily life, people often keep moving forward without stopping to think. They work, eat, talk, and sleep, and wake up and do it all again. But without reflection, it's easy to lose direction. You may be walking, but you don't know where you're going. You may be busy, but not truly growing. That's why taking time to reflect is so important. Reflection is the quiet act of looking back. It means asking yourself, what did I learn today? Or, did I move closer to the person I want to become? It's a time to pause, to notice your thoughts, your actions, and your choices. It's not about judging yourself. It's about understanding yourself. When you reflect, you begin to see patterns. You notice what helps you and what harms you. You understand which habits are building you up and which ones are holding you back. You begin to see where you waste time, where you grow, and where you need to change. And with that knowledge, you can move forward with more purpose and strength. Think of a sailor in the ocean. If he never checks his direction, he might drift far from his path. The wind may blow, the waves may rise, but without checking his compass, he won't know if he's still going the right way. But if he pauses often, looks at his map, and adjusts his sails, he stays on course even in a storm. Reflection is your compass. It helps you stay true to your path, even when life gets busy or hard. Reflection also brings peace. It gives you a chance to breathe and slow down. In a world full of rushing, it is a moment of stillness. When you reflect, you give your heart a chance to speak. You may remember something kind someone said. You may see beauty in something you missed before. You may realize that even on your hardest days, you still found a way to keep going. You don't need a special place or a long time to reflect. Just a few minutes at the end of the day can make a big difference. Sit quietly, close your eyes if you like. Ask yourself, what went well today? And what could I do better tomorrow? You can write your thoughts in a notebook or simply think about them in your mind. What matters is the honesty and the care you give to yourself in that moment. There's a story of a young man who was always working hard, but felt lost. He was doing many things, but felt like nothing was improving. One day, an older man told him to spend 5 minutes each evening thinking about his day. At first, it felt strange. But soon, a young man began to see changes. He made better decisions. He let go of what didn't matter. He found more meaning in his efforts. Why? Because he took time to understand his journey. Reflection is not about doing more. It's about doing better. It's about learning from your past to improve your future. It helps you grow, not just in action, but in wisdom. And with wisdom, your steps become more powerful. So take time each day to look back, not to stay in the past, but to learn from it. Let your mind rest. Let your heart speak. Let your spirit realign with your purpose. Even 5 quiet minutes can change how you feel, how you think, and how you move forward. Direction without reflection is like walking in the dark. But with reflection, the path becomes clearer. You begin to walk with purpose. You begin to move with peace. And most of all, you begin to grow with deeper meaning in every step. 21. Your circle shapes your standards. The people you spend time with have a strong effect on your life. Their words, actions, and habits slowly shape the way you think and behave. Even if you don't notice it right away, the people around you can lift you higher or pull you down. That's why it's so important to choose your circle carefully. If you are always around people who make excuses, avoid hard work, or complain often, their attitude can become yours. You may find yourself thinking the same way, even if you don't mean to. But if you surround yourself with people who are kind, strong, and hard-working, you will naturally start to grow in those same ways. You will rise to meet the level of those around you. Your circle helps set your standards. Standards are the level you choose to live, how you treat others, how you work, how you speak, and how you care for yourself. High standards lead to a strong, honest, and successful life. Low standards lead to poor habits and wasted time. You may have big dreams, but if the people around you don't support those dreams, they can slowly pull you away from them. There's a story of a young man who wanted to become a teacher, but his friends didn't care about learning. They made fun of him for studying. They told him to stop wasting his time. For a while, he listened to them, and his dreams started to fade. Then one day, he met someone who believed in him. That person encouraged him to study and reminded him of his goal. With time, he found new friends who supported his dream. Years later, he became a teacher not because he was lucky, but because he chose a better circle. That's the power of who you keep close. The people in your life should want to see you grow. They should challenge you when you need it and remind you of your values. They don't have to be perfect, but they should push you to be your best, and you should do the same for them. Be the kind of friend who lifts others up, who speaks truth with kindness, and who stands by people when life gets hard. Relationships work both ways. You don't just receive influence. You also give it. You can be a light in someone's life, just like someone can be a light in yours. Sometimes choosing the right circle means letting go of old habits or even old friendships. That can be painful. But if someone keeps pulling you away from who you want to become, you have to make a choice. Your future is too important to be shaped by people who don't believe in it. This doesn't mean you should judge others or act proud. It means you must be honest about what helps you grow and what holds you back. It means being brave enough to seek out people who live with strength, purpose, and heart. You don't have to walk your path alone. Find people who walk in the same direction. Talk with those who understand your goals. Share time with those who lift your spirit. Over time, you will notice a change, just in how you feel, but in how you live. Your circle is not just part of your life. It's part of your future. Choose wisely, stay true to your values, and never forget this simple truth. If you want to live a better life, spend time with people who are building 1, 2, 22 emotions. Lead routines. Don't feelings are part of being human. Some days you feel happy and full of energy. Other days you feel tired, sad, or unsure. These feelings come and go like the weather. They are not always right, and they are not always helpful. If you only act based on how you feel, you will live a life that goes up and down all the time. This is why routines are so important. A routine is something you do every day, no matter how you feel. It brings structure to your life. It gives you direction when your emotions try to pull you in the wrong way. Routines are steady. They don't change just because your mood does. That's what makes them powerful. When you build strong routines, you train yourself to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. That doesn't mean you ignore your feelings. It means you don't let your feelings control your actions. You listen to them, but you still move forward. Imagine a man who wants to get stronger. He makes a plan to walk every morning. Some days he wakes up excited and ready. Other days he feels lazy or sad. If he listens only to his emotions, he might stay in bed. But if he follows his routine, he gets up anyway. He walks slowly. He becomes stronger, not just in body, but in mind. He learns that action can lead emotion. Some days the walk makes him feel better. Some days it's just a walk, but he keeps his promise to himself, and that matters. Routines also help when life feels heavy. When things are hard, emotions can feel too big. You might feel lost or stuck. But if you have a routine, simple habits you follow, you know what to do next. You don't have to think. You just take the next step. Maybe it's making your bed, going for a short walk, or sitting down to work. These small actions bring order to the chaos. They remind you that you are still in control. It's easy to believe that motivation will save you, but motivation is just another feeling. It shows up some days and disappears on others. You can't wait for motivation to get things done. You need something stronger: discipline, built through routine. Discipline says, do it anyway. And when you do, your self-respect grows. There's a story about a writer who promised himself to write for 1 hour every morning. Some days the words came easily. Other days, nothing felt right. But he sat down every day. He kept his routine. Years later, he had written many books. When asked how he did it, he didn't talk about talent. He said, I showed up every morning. That's the power of routine. It carries you when feelings don't. Routines don't need to be big. Even small habits done daily can shape your life. A short walk, a quiet moment, a cup of tea and peace, or writing in a notebook. These acts bring rhythm and calm. They become the ground you stand on when everything else feels shaky. Your emotions are real, but they are not always true. They come and go. They rise and fall. You should care for them, but you should not let them lead your life. Let your routines lead. Let your choices guide your steps, and trust that your feelings will follow. When you live by routine, you build a life of stability, strength, and self-respect. You don't just hope for good days. You create them. Not with perfect moods, but with faithful action. So when you feel low, confused, or unsure, return to your routine. It knows the way forward. Even when you don't, let it lead you. One steady step at a time. Point 23. Legacy is built daily. Many people think that legacy is something you leave behind at the end of your life. They think it is built in one big moment or through one great achievement. But legacy doesn't work that way. It is not built in a day. It is built every day. It is shaped by the way you live, the choices you make, and the way you treat others. Your legacy is the story people will tell about you. It is the feeling they carry when they think of your name. It is not just what you do, it is who you are. The way you show up each day, the way you help, speak, listen, and love, all of it matters. Even the small things add up. Some people chase fame, thinking that legacy is about being known by many. But true legacy is not about being famous. It is about being remembered for good reasons by those whose lives you touched. A quiet man who teaches his children kindness builds a deeper legacy than a loud man who only thinks of himself. A woman who listens and encourages others leaves a mark that lasts longer than gold. Think about someone who cooks dinner for their family every night. They don't do it for praise. They do it out of care. Over time, those meals become memories. The children grow up remembering the warmth, the love, and the steady presence of someone who showed up every day. That is legacy. Legacy is built in moments when no one is looking. When you choose patience instead of anger. When you help someone without expecting anything back. When you do the right thing, even when it's hard. These quiet actions done again and again create a life that means something. You don't need a perfect life to build a strong legacy. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is how you respond. Do you learn? Do you grow? Do you make things right? Your ability to rise after falling is part of your legacy too. There's a story of an old teacher who never wrote a book or gave a big speech, but every student who passed through his classroom remembered him. He looked each child in the eye. He spoke with kindness. He believed in those who didn't believe in themselves. Years later, those students became doctors, builders, mothers, and leaders. Many said the same thing. He made me feel seen. He gave me hope. That's legacy. Not in buildings or statues, but in the hearts of people. You are building your legacy right now, with every word you speak, with every promise you keep, with every time you choose love over hate. Truth over lies, effort over ease. Your actions are like seeds. Some grow fast, some take years. But in time, they all grow into something. You may not see the full picture of your legacy today. And that's okay. What matters is that you are planting the right seeds. Are you living with purpose? Are you treating others with care? Are you doing your best with what you've been given? Legacy is not about doing everything. It's about doing the small things with great care. It's about being present, being honest, being faithful in your work, your relationships, and your values. So ask yourself, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? What kind of story do you want others to tell about your life? You don't need to wait for the right time. You can begin today with kindness, with courage, with love. Because the truth is, simple legacy is not left at the end. It is written in the days you are living right now. 24. Celebrate small wins in life. Many people wait to celebrate until they reach a big goal. They think they will feel proud only when they achieve something great. But the truth is, waiting for big success can make the journey feel long and heavy. That is why it is so important to notice and celebrate small wins along the way. They give you hope, build your confidence, and keep your spirit strong. Small wins are the little steps you take every day. They may not look like much, but they matter. Waking up early when you didn't feel like it, finishing a task you had been putting off, saying no to something that pulls you away from your goals. These are all small wins. When you see them and celebrate them, you remind yourself that progress is happening. Think of a farmer who plants seeds. He does not see fruit right away, but each day he waters the ground. He pulls out weeds. He checks the soil. These may seem like small things, but they are not. Each action brings the crop closer to life. If the farmer waits until the harvest to feel proud, he may lose heart along the way. But if he notices the first green shoot breaking through the soil, he finds joy. That small sign tells him, keep going, it's working. Celebrating small wins also builds belief. When you recognize your efforts, you begin to trust yourself. You feel stronger. You say, I am capable, I am making progress. That feeling pushes you forward on days when things feel hard, and over time, many small wins turn into big results. Some people think they should not celebrate small steps. They say it's not enough. I haven't done anything big yet. But this thinking steals joy, it makes people feel like they are never doing well enough. If you always wait for something perfect, you will miss the beauty in what is already happening. There's a story of a young woman who wanted to run a long race. When she first started training, she could not run far each day. She ran a little more. At the end of the first week, she ran half a mile without stopping. She smiled and felt proud. Her friends told her it was nothing, but she knew it was something. That small win gave her the strength to keep going. Months later, she finished the race. And she often said it was that first half mile that gave her the courage to believe she could do more. Celebrating small wins does not mean throwing a party each time. It means pausing, noticing, and saying to yourself, well done. It means giving yourself a smile, a deep breath, a quiet thank you. It means allowing yourself to feel good about the effort you put in. You can even write your small wins down. Keep a notebook beside your bed, and each night write one good thing you did that day. It might be simple. It might be quiet, but it still matters. Over time, those pages will remind you of your journey and how far you've come. Every great journey is made up of many small steps. Each step is a win. Each win is a reason to keep going. So don't wait for the big moments to feel proud. Be proud today. Celebrate what you've done. See the good. Honor the effort. Because small wins are not small at all. They are proof that you are showing up. They are signs of strength. And they are the building blocks of a life you can be proud of. 25. Patience is a superpower. In today's fast-moving world, many people want things to happen quickly. They want success right away. They want change overnight. But real growth doesn't happen fast. It happens slowly, step by step, over time. That's why patience is such a powerful gift. It helps you keep going when things take longer than you expected. Patience is not just waiting. Anyone can wait, but true patience is waiting with a good attitude. It's the ability to keep working hard without seeing results yet. It's the strength to trust the process, even when it feels slow. When you are patient, you are not lazy. You are strong, steady, and wise. Think of a tree. When a seed is planted, it doesn't grow into a tree overnight. It takes days, weeks, even years. First, the roots grow underground, where no one can see. Then, little by little, the trunk rises. Branches spread, leaves form. It may seem slow, but it is growing the whole time. Patience is what makes that growth possible. The same is true in life. Whether you are learning something new, building a career, healing from pain, or working toward a dream, things take time. If you give up too soon, you miss the reward that was just around the corner. But if you stay patient, your time will come. There's a story about a man who wanted to grow bamboo. He watered the ground every day, but nothing came up, not after 1 month, not after 6. A whole year passed, and still the ground looked empty. But he kept watering. After 5 years, the bamboo suddenly shot up several feet in just a few weeks. What had happened? All that time, the roots were growing deep and strong under the ground. The man's patience was not wasted, not it was necessary. Patience also helps you stay calm in hard times. Life will not always go your way. You will face delays, disappointments, and changes. But when you are patient, you don't break, you bend, you breathe, you trust that things will get better if you keep moving forward. You don't rush the future. You respect the timing of life. People who are patient are often more peaceful. They don't compare their journey to others. They understand that everyone grows at their own pace. They don't rush success or force results. Instead, they focus on what they can do today and let tomorrow come when it's ready. Patience also builds deeper relationships. It helps you listen better, love better, and forgive more easily. When you are patient with others, you give them space to grow. When you are patient with yourself, you give yourself grace to learn and improve. No one is perfect. We all need time. Patience gives that time with kindness. Some people think patience is weakness, but it is actually great strength. It is choosing not to give up when it would be easier to walk away. It is choosing to trust when things are unclear. It is choosing to believe that good things are growing, even if you can't see them yet. So if you are working hard, not seeing results, be patient. If life feels slow or stuck, be patient. Keep showing up. Keep doing your best. Trust that the roots are growing, even if the tree has not appeared yet. Patience is not about doing nothing. It is about doing the right thing again and again, believing that one day your fruit will bloom. And when it does, you will be proud not just of the result, but of the journey you took to get there. Because patience is not waiting for things to happen. It's becoming the kind of person who is ready when they do. 26. Gratitude changes everything. Gratitude is more than saying thank you. It is a way of seeing the world. It is choosing to focus on what you have, not on what you lack. It is looking at your leaf not with eyes of frustration, but with eyes of appreciation. Gratitude does not mean your life is perfect. It means you are thankful for the good parts, even while working through the hard ones. Many people think they will feel grateful only after life improves. They say, I'll be thankful when I get that job, or that house, or that dream. But gratitude works the other way. When you start being grateful now, even for the small things, your life already begins to feel better. You don't need big success to practice gratitude. You just need to notice the blessings around you. Gratitude shifts your focus. If you wake up each day thinking about what's wrong, you will carry that weight all day. But if you begin your day by thinking of one thing, you are thankful for a warm meal, a kind word, a place to sleep, you carry light instead of burden. Gratitude turns simple moments into special ones. There's a story of a woman who had very little. Her house was small, her work was hard, and her money was tight. Yet every evening, she would sit on her porch, smile at the sunset, and whisper thanks. People ask her, "Why are you smiling?" "You don't have much." She replied, "I have enough. I have peace. I have hope. I have today." Her heart was full, not because she had everything, but because she saw the value in what she already had. Gratitude also helps in tough times. When life feels painful, it can be easy to fall into sadness or anger. But even then, there is often something to hold on to, a lesson, a friend, a moment of rest, a new chance. Gratitude helps you see the small lights, even in the dark. It doesn't remove the pain, but it gives you the strength to keep going. Grateful people are often more joyful. They smile more, complain less, and live with open hearts. They don't ignore problems, but they don't let problems steal all their attention. They choose to notice beauty, kindness, and progress. And that choice makes a big difference. Gratitude also improves relationships. When you appreciate people, you treat them with more care. You speak more kindly. You forgive more easily. You see the good in them, and they feel that, saying thank you to someone even for something small can bring warmth to both hearts. And when you feel appreciated, you want to give more. You can grow gratitude like a garden. Start small. Each morning, think of one thing you're thankful for. Each night, look back on the day and find something good. Write it down if you like. Over time, these small moments of thanks will grow into a new way of seeing the world. Gratitude also helps you stay humble. It reminds you that many things in life are gifts: your health, your home, your loved ones, even the air you breathe. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It softens pride. It opens your heart. When you live with gratitude, life feels richer, not because you have more, but because you see more. You notice the sun on your face, the kindness in a smile, the joy in a shared laugh. You don't miss the little gifts, and that makes every day more meaningful. So practice gratitude. Even on hard days, look for something good. Even in quiet moments, whisper, thanks. Gratitude doesn't need perfect conditions. It only needs an open heart. Because when you choose to be grateful, you don't just change your mood, you change your life. Gratitude really does change everything. 27. Service strengthens the soul. There is something special that happens when you help others. It goes beyond a simple act. It reaches into your heart and changes you from the inside out. When you give your time, your effort, or your care to someone else, you don't lose anything. In fact, you gain something deeper: peace, purpose, and strength. Serving others doesn't weaken you. It strengthens your soul. Service does not have to be grand or loud. You don't need to lead a group or stand on a stage. Real service often happens in quiet places: kind word to someone who is sad, sharing food with someone who is hungry, or listening patiently when someone needs to talk. These small acts may seem simple, but they carry great power. When you help someone else, you step outside your own problems for a moment. You stop thinking only about what you lack, and you start thinking about what you can give. This shift is healing. It reminds you that you still have something to offer. No matter what you are facing, you can still be a light to someone else. There is a story of a man who lost everything: his job, his home, his peace of mind. He was broken and felt useless. One day, he saw an older woman struggling to carry her groceries. He helped her without thinking. She smiled, thanked him, and sighed, "You made my day." In that moment, something changed inside him. He realized he still had value. He started helping others a little each day, and slowly his own heart began to heal. Service saved him, not with money or answers, but with meaning. Serving others brings people together. It breaks walls. It builds trust. When you serve, you say, "You matter." That message can bring hope to someone who feels forgotten. It can bring comfort to someone who feels alone. You may not always know the full effect of your kindness, but it always leaves a mark. Service also teaches humility. It reminds you that everyone is walking their own path with struggles you may not see. It softens your judgments and opens your heart. When you serve, you learn to look beyond yourself. You begin to understand that we all need each other. Children who are taught to serve grow up with kinder hearts. Adults who make time to help others often find more joy in their own lives. Families, villages, and communities grow stronger when service is part of everyday life. Giving to others brings something back to you, not as payment, but as peace. Sometimes people wait to serve until they feel ready or until they have more to give. But you don't need much. A helping hand, a gentle word, a shared meal, all of these are enough. The gift is not in the size of what you give. The gift is in the heart with which you give it. And service is not only for others, it is for you too. It helps you grow. It shapes your character. It strengthens your patience, your love, and your purpose. It reminds you that even in your weakest moments, you can still do something good. So serve often, serve with joy. Look for chances to help, not for reward, but because it is the right thing to do. Let service be a part of who you are, not just something you do, because the truth is simple. When you lift someone else, you rise too. When you bring light to another's path, your own path becomes clearer. Service is not about being perfect or powerful. It is about being present, being willing, being kind, and in that, you will find one of the greatest strengths a soul can carry. 28. The journey is the reward. Many people spend their lives chasing goals. They say, I'll be happy when I get that job, or I'll feel proud when I buy that house, or I'll be at peace when I reach the top. But what they don't realize is this: the joy is not only at the end. The real reward is in the journey itself. The journey is where you learn. It's where you grow, where you change, where you become stronger. The journey is made of all the small steps, the early mornings, the quiet nights, the doubts you face, and the courage you find. It is filled with moments, some hard, some beautiful, that shape who you are. If you rush through the journey just to get to the end, you miss what matters most. You miss the friendships built along the way. You miss the small wins. You miss the lessons that come from failure, the pride that comes from effort, and the calm that grows from struggle. There's a story about a boy who climbed a mountain. He wanted to reach the top more than anything. He thought only the view from the top would make him happy. So he climbed fast, ignoring everything along the way, the trees, the flowers, the people he passed. When he reached the top, he looked around and felt empty. The view was nice, but the climb had gone by in a blur. He realized he had missed the best part, the journey itself. This happens in life too. We often think that success is something far away, but success can also be found in how we walk our path. Are we kind as we go? Are we learning? Are we giving our best effort each day? These things matter just as much as any goal. The journey teaches you patience. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you how to handle both joy and disappointment. You may fall. You may take wrong turns. But with each step, you grow. You become more than someone chasing a dream. You become someone building a life. And the people you meet on the journey matter too. Some will walk beside you for a short time. Others will stay longer. Some will teach you. Others will test you. But each one adds to your story. They shape your heart. Shop in your mind and remind you that life is not meant to be walked alone. The journey also helps you discover yourself. You begin to see your strength, your values, your dreams. You find what truly brings you joy, not what others say should make you happy, but what fills your heart quietly and deeply. Sometimes the road will be slow. Sometimes it will be full of surprises. But every step is a chance to live fully. Every step is a gift. So instead of saying, I'll be happy when I get there, try saying, I'll find joy in this step. Instead of saying, I just want to finish, say, I want to grow while I walk. This change in thinking brings peace. It brings meaning. Because the truth is, the goal may last a moment, but the journey lasts a lifetime. And if you pay attention, if you walk with purpose and heart, you will see that the journey itself is the reward. You don't need to wait for the end to feel proud. You don't need to reach a finish line to feel alive. You can feel it, in the trying, in the learning, in the becoming, Walk your journey with care. Walk it with joy. And remember, every step counts. Every step is part of the gift. Asterisk, ready to unlock the real secret to success? Hit like, subscribe, and let's dive deep into Napoleon Hill's timeless wisdom. Don't just learn it, live it.